I'm bored. Let's talk about the Critical Drinkers subreddit. And yes, it's just as bad as you expect it to be. If you've never been there, it's just as bad and disgusting and full of brain rot as you would expect a Critical Drinker forum to be. That's essentially what it is. And if you read through it, you'll see some of the worst takes possible. This subreddit has a bunch of dumbass people convinced that they are the smartest people in the room, that they know everything objectively. They have all the inside information because Critical Drinker has convinced them that they're all part of some huge movement of these enlightened film and TV critics, that they're not. It's not like that at all. It's actually really bad. I saw this post here and I read the title and I'm like, if we take the title literally, meaning the title is exactly what the person intended it to mean, then we have a problem, because this shows just how illiterate this community is and the harm that Critical Drinker has caused by being a disgusting person and spreading lies and brain rot. So the title of this post is Good Movies / Shows That Are Ruined by Diversity. It's a very simple concept, right? Diversity equals bad and ruined. It's not a woke ideology. It's not bad writing. It's none of those things. It is diversity existing in a movie or TV show, which, by the way, even years ago, you'd be hard pressed to find something that didn't include like a diverse cast of people. Like, they might not be all diverse, but there was diverse people in cast. So I find the whole concept, the diversity alone could ruin something, would be the sole issue with that. Like, the only problem is it's diverse, therefore a problem. I don't see that existing in anything, movies or TV shows. I don't believe that. And I don't think this person even understands it. Let's read what they had an issue here with this show, what the issue was. I thought Day of the Jackal was a fun show. The show could have been so much more if the person chasing him wasn't an arrogant beast of a woman. Yes, let's cast this overweight black lady as an MI6 agent who has no brains. Okay, you didn't even have to go that far. You could have said it had a black lady in it. It had a woman in it. Those things would have fulfilled your necessary condition, which is diversity and ruined. That would have filled it. But here you go on to say, as an MI6 agent who has no brain. So your problem wasn't just the diversity. Your problem was other things. There were other issues with it that you had a problem with. So it wasn't diversity that ruined it. It was the fact that you didn't like the way the character was written. You didn't like the way the character was presented. There are other factors here that it seems like you had with this that were not diversity. So diversity wasn't the problem. It wasn't the issue. More on that in a second. Hold on, don't go anywhere. So the issue I have with this, and if you read through this thing, it's just full of some really awful takes. And everybody thinks that diversity being in something just automatically ruins it, right? This tells me that a lot of people who watch Critical Drinker hear woke or message and immediately assign it to diversity. They've made that connection within the community. So that's what they think it is. And that's the most important part of all of this, is that Critical Drinker doesn't have to spell things out for them. He simply has to allude to something, and then they hear what he says, and they have now assigned diversity to whatever it is. Because I was told for years that woke ideology wasn't just diversity. That wasn't the problem. But here, a very simple title: Good Movies and Shows That Are Ruined by Diversity. Not woke ideology, not the message, none of that. So we were right. We were right when we say that this community, the people that are parts of these communities like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, etc., that they think of wokeness as simply diversity. And even though their concept of what a problem is when it comes to these movies and TV shows is something more than that, they have they've honed in and picked out this specific thing, and now that's how their brain hears what he is saying. This is what they hear. He could talk for 8 minutes and all they hear in their minds is diversity is bad. They have been conditioned to feel that way. Now, you might say, well, Eric, he meant something else when he said this. Okay, well then that's a problem too, because that means that this person is not media literate. He is incapable of understanding context clues. He's incapable of understanding communication. He's incapable of looking beyond whatever the brainwashing is that he's received from Critical Drinker or these other guys. So is wokeness diversity or is it not? Last thing I want to talk about is if these people truly believe that something more, say for example, it's not just diversity, right? Diversity is part of it and they believe there's more to it, which would go into that whole woke ideology bullshit they talk about. The way to fix this is not to subtract people from participating. It's not to subtract people from being a part of these things. The way to fix this is to ask for better content with people who are diverse, because that would be the non-racist, bigoted way to look at it. To say, hey, this trans person in this show is not well written. Therefore, we should advocate for better writing for this trans person so they can still be included in something and the story will be better. And that would start on the top. That would start with producers, directors, writers, people coming in and understanding what it's like to be a trans person, what it's like to be a gay person, what it's like to be a person of color, what it's like to be anybody diverse, I guess, being a part of the creative process. But then they would have to admit that diversity isn't the problem. They would have to admit that the solution is being more inclusive and having different voices in the creative process leading to what we see on screen. Because that is the solution to fixing a problem with media that is bad. Once the actors are filming something to be put out, a movie, a TV show, once they have reached that point, if there's an issue with the core foundation of those movies and TV shows, that does not rest on the shoulders of the actors in the scenes. That rests on the shoulders of everybody that put the show together. This is why going after actors, going after the faces of these projects is not actually addressing the issue that they have with the projects. I would concede that there are a lot of things that come out that probably could be better when it comes to representation, that could be more authentic when it comes to representation. But the problem with that isn't the people on screen portraying the words that they're reading on the script, being in the scenes that the person directed, being a part of the machine that the producers have produced. Those are things that happen before we get to the filming process. So my solution would be, when it comes to making these movies and TV shows, that the people in the creative process, in the rooms writing this, on set directing this, the people putting all this together are actually more diverse and more aware and more capable of doing these kinds of things. That would be my solution to it. Subtracting people from participating in this art form because you have an issue with the construction, the foundation, the make of all of this is bigoted. I know you guys don't like that word, but it is. It's bigoted because you are going after the tail end of whatever this issue is that you have with it and saying that instead of trying to fix the problem, it is easier for us to just subtract entire groups of people. That's lazy. And it's being illiterate about media. It's being brainwashed by Critical Drinker. And this subreddit is full of people like this. Dumb fucks who don't get it. Assholes that don't get it. Bigots that don't get it. If you actually want better media for queer people, for women, for people of color, you need to be fighting for that on the back end and saying we need more inclusive stuff going on behind the scenes, not subtracting it. Because once you're subtracting it and taking it away, you're telling us that it's not the quality of the media, it's the necessary condition, which is diversity.